All right, members of the culture. I am Ra, and you are here. Sorry, I had to kind of adjust the camera a little bit. We're trying something a little different here for the reviews. I realized that people were saying, "Hey, man, you talk about them, but we don't never see the reviews. We never see you touch anything." So now you're gonna actually see me do a review here. And what am I reviewing today? The controversial Maximum Hulk. Let me go ahead and tell you ahead of time. I've been trying to get this post together to get him to hold it. I could, but I got to mess around a little bit more. It doesn't hold like this picture makes it look like it's very easy for him to do this thunderclap pose. It's not. I could get him into some poses, but it was not easy. All right, but nonetheless, let me go ahead and tell you. Um, this is what he looks like. In case you're wondering, here's my free form pose. You could get him in. This thing is heavy, by the way. You could get him into some free form poses. Um, this Hulk, if we have to just go and do a review like we normally would, I'm gonna go ahead and give you an overall opinion of it after we break down the topic. So you know, if we're here to talk about it, that means we're here to review something, right? So if we're gonna review it, we got 5 points we got to talk about, which are cool, articulation, price, display, and accessories. So, folks, let's go ahead and get the obvious out of the way. Now, is this a cool Hulk in concept? Yes. In concept, this is a cool. The Incredible Hulk is a cool character, period. But in concept, what they were trying to do, I get. This is a cool. This is cool as it is. The thought that went into it, what they tried to do, I get. Whether they executed or not, that's a different story. But I get what they were saying. So if as he is right now, if we're just talking about just a cool figure, he's that. He's got some reuse. We all know that if you've been watching reviews and you understand that's going on. But as a cool, he got 15 points. Next up, articulation. Now here's where one of the elephants come up in the room. You heard me talk earlier about him getting this thunderclap pose together, right? So you can see me bring his hands together right here. And I've seen videos where, and I don't know if on the camera you can see it, but I've seen videos where people have said that you just kind of cross his arms like this and then let go and then go like that. Okay. If you do that, yes, his hands do go together. He can actually do the clap, but the problem that I have with him, and this really kind of ties in, is two things. One, he doesn't really stand so well. He's top heavy for some real reason. I don't know why. But I watched another reviewer say it's hard to get him to stand up. And it kind of is. You know, barring the table, it is a little hard to get him just to stand up. He naturally just kind of wants to fall down, even with these gigantic flat man feet with toe articulation that he has. Right? He does have that articulation. The arms do a 360. There's no issue there. He does have swivel and hinge at the hands and bicep swivel. I mean, they put some thought into what they were doing. There's no doubt about that. But it's about the execution. It's not just about the thought. You know, I might think a girl is pretty, and I might want to ask the girl out, but if I don't execute it properly, guess what? She's going to her house, and I'm going to mine. So there's a difference when it comes to executing on what you plan on doing, and that matters, and it really matters in this case. He's not terribly articulated, but for what the thing, the main feature they talked about was this right here, was him Hulk clap or Hulk smash or whatever you want to call that. That was the main thing they spoke about, was him clapping. Well, here's the problem with that. Sure, can he clap? Yeah, I mean he can, but the problem is, as I get him to have a hard time standing up. The problem with that is getting him to do this clap. He comes with a piece. If it holds exactly right, then yes, you can get it. But it's not the easiest thing in the world to get him to do. So even though that main feature that they tout about him doing the clap, I got to penalize him for that. Overall, now his leg doesn't go up but about so high, right? It goes back about like that, like you see. Double jointed though, so it can go back some, right, on his legs. He has the 360 rotation on the arms. That's not an issue. But as a whole, you can get him in the pimp, like you can get him right here in this, in this pimp smack pose right here. That's what I'm calling it. You can get him back. I mean, they do. People say he doesn't do the full T. I don't really agree with that. It's almost 90 degrees. It's not quite 90. So that's true right there, as you can clearly see it. You can't go back but so far. Um, and you can get him in some decent poses. Really and truthfully, You can. I'm not just gonna trash him like a lot of the reviewers have just trashed him. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna trash him. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why. I think a lot of it has to do with the verbiage. If this was called, I saw another reviewer, I can't remember who it was. I just saw a video where they talked about it. If this was called a deluxe Hulk, or if this had just been a regular Marvel Legends Hulk, if you sold this thing for $29.99, I don't think you'd had an issue. I really don't. Call it deluxe and call it $30. We'd have been good with that. That would have been. I think he would have been perfectly fine. But because they called it Maximum Hulk and there's reuse of parts and it's a little bit more difficult to get him to do the things that they touted him to do, that makes it tough, right? So I gotta call a spade. No articulation. For me, overall, it's halfway. So he gets 10 points. Next up is his price. That is his main negative thing, believe it or not, outside the reuse. $60 now. If Best Buy, for those of you that did pre-order him from Best Buy, they are honoring that price at $49.99, which they say is a mistake. But really, honestly, it should have been $39.99 if you want to know the truth. But that I'm kudos to Best Buy for stepping up and honoring that. So his price runs the gamut. He's $50 there, but elsewhere I've seen this thing as high as $82.99. I've seen him everywhere. He's all over the place. But at the end of the day, he is overpriced. I cannot lie to you. So price, he scores 5 points. Next up, display. He doesn't display bad. You can clearly see that. If I surrounded him with other Marvel Legends, put him next to other figures, he looks good. If you just put him next to other figures, now my man Darkseid is going to stand in here. In this particular case, Beast Kingdom Darkseid is going to stand in for just a figure, just for comparative scale, right? And that's kind of a bigger figure too. But you see how he looks. He displays decently. It's not that, but he came up with so much hype, and this whole maximum thing has had so much controversy with it. I'm going to cover that in another video, so I won't go off on a tangent about that. But look for a video later today where we talk about maximum line in general. But as I was saying, when it comes to price, that's his. Either way you look at it, it's overpriced, so it's 5 points there. As I said, I'm sorry, I covered that. That's why I gave him 5 points on price. Display, he's not bad. I mean, if you just leave him alone like this, or put him with relative scale with other figures, he displays fine. And this is the head I like. He has 3 heads. Everybody's talked about that, and they're inspired by different artists. But I personally like this head. He does have others, so I'll bring the box in so you can see. So there's the other head he has. And there's his wild man head right there. But for me, the head that I like is obviously this one. So that's the one that stays on mine. But display, I don't think he does bad at that. So he got 15 points there. Last but not least, accessories, which is a tricky situation. I'll go ahead and tell you up front, I gave him 15 points because he did come with obviously he comes with the clapping hands, he comes with 2 fists, he comes with his kind of gripping hands. He has the missiles, 3 heads, and then the clap effect right here. So accessories wise, he does come with them. It's just when you consider the whole maximum thing. I think if they called this a deluxe, like what they were trying to, I guess, push the no Jamie Foxx Electro, like if they were pushing it like that and put it at 39, it'd have been a win, I think, as a whole. He still have his problems, but I don't think he would be facing as much venom, no pun intended, as he is. But other than that, if you just consider it as a deluxe, he wins. But because it's maximum, it hurts him, but he still scores 15 points for his accessories. That gave him a total of 60 points out of 100, folks. So a 6 out of 10. That's my honest opinion of it. Now, if this is your only Hulk, now I don't have another green Hulk right here. That I have Hulks, but I don't have another green Hulk. Well, outside of my Diamond Select statue, that's never going anywhere because I love that thing. But I've got a red Hulk. I've got gray. I've got others, but this is my de facto green Hulk now. Now, honestly, it's not a bad figure. Like I said, 60. It's not bad. If I were you, if you're on the fence about buying this, you don't have a Hulk, because of the secondhand market, the way it is, it's hard to find something. That's suitable that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, right? If you want to get like Immortal Hulk, which I think is better by Diamond Select, if you've seen that Hulk, Google it, look it up. Immortal Hulk, I think, is better than this one. Um, there's another Incredible Hulk, both of them by Select, but I think Immortal Hulk it would be my number one go-to green Hulk if I'm being honest about it. That would be where I would go as opposed to this guy. But finding him for a decent price can be tough. People, especially with the news of Diamond Select, closing down and shutting down, and again, our thoughts and condolences with all those people. positive thoughts for people. It hates see anybody lose their job. So without Diamond Select doing that now, what Marvel will do from this point forward is unknown, because that they did have that line. So whether they're going to take it themselves, I don't know. Whether someone else will take it, I don't know. That means it's open for Todd McFarlane or somebody else to swoop in and get it, since Diamond is no more. Hopefully somebody gets that line, because Marvel Select does have some good figures. If I'm just being honest about it, their figures are okay, really and truthfully. They have less articulation, but I think it's contractual in some way, that limits them, so that they don't compete with Marvel Legends. It's by design, but they do make some good figures. I can't lie. But this guy on his own, 6 out of 10. If you could get him, and inevitably his price will go down at some point. Whether it's Ollie's or DD's discounts or Ross or whatever, or you catch him on a sale like the non-Jamie Foxx Electro is for $20 right now, something like that. Yeah, I tell you to go ahead and go out and grab him. But outside of that, I can't really recommend it to you. But our job is to review and to tell you what we think, and that's where we are with that. 60 points out of 100, right? So maybe not. It depends on how you look at it. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for taking your time out to check this review out. And we are now going to close this video down, because we do have another review coming in just a moment. But in any case, thank y'all for listening so much. Please let us know what you think. Also, don't let me forget that. While you're down there in that comment section, please get active. Let us know what you think about this Hulk. Do you have it? Do you know anybody that has it? Do you plan on getting it? What are your thoughts on this Maximum Hulk, or the Maximum line in general? Let's have this. Remember, please, folks, keep it positive and classy in the comment section. We will be checking it out down there. Get active. Share this video. Like it. It helps us. Please help us fight the YouTube algorithm. All right. So, members of the culture, until we meet again, please continue to stay collecting. Please continue to stay tuned. And above all, please continue to stay great.